Chapter number 2: Scalars and Vectors. Friends, physical quantities are mainly classified into two types: scalars and vectors. Scalars or scalar quantities. Scalars or scalar quantities are physical quantities which have magnitude only and are specified completely by a number and a unit. For example, when we say that the mass of a stone is 6 kg, it indicates that the stone is 6 times heavier than certain standard unit, kilogram. Thus, the number 6, which is the magnitude, and the unit kilogram gives us a complete idea about the mass of the stone. Thus, mass is a scalar quantity. Similarly, length, time, temperature, density, etc. are examples of scalars. Scalars can be added or subtracted by rules of simple algebra. Vectors or vector quantities. Vectors or vector quantities are physical quantities which have magnitude as well as direction. For example, when we think of displacement of a body, we have to mention the distance traveled by the body, that is the magnitude, and the direction in which the body has moved. Thus, displacement is a vector quantity. Similarly, velocity, force, momentum, etc. are examples of vector quantities. Graphically, vector can be represented by a directed line segment or an arrow. For example, displacement of a body from P to Q is represented as P arrow Q, where the starting point is P and it is called the tail, and the point Q is called the head of the vector. Symbolically, we write PQ and upon that an arrow with the head towards Q. Symbolically, vectors are represented by a single letter with the arrow above it. For example, A and an arrow above it, or B and arrow above it, etc.